Is the Trump Gold Card going to solve all your immigration problems? I think not. We have to understand how the immigration system in the United States works and how it's established. The most important legislation that exists as it relates to immigration is the Immigration and Nationality Act. This gives very specific, detailed, statutory breakdown of the various pathways that exist as it relates to immigration to the United States. For the executive branch, they have the responsibility of crafting regulations to help meet those statutory requirements. For example, if we look at the statutory requirement that set up the issue of extraordinary ability, it talks about three major things. Number one, that you have already established, sustained a claim that's recognized in your area of endeavor, and the regulations that are developed to help us understand how we meet such a requirement are then put in place through the regulatory process that is subject to executive branch determination, and of course it goes through a process. So there is a possibility that the executive branch, the Trump administration in particular, can establish requirements around, for example, payment of $1 million to then establish that a person will provide, for example, national importance under an NIW to make them eligible for an EB-2, or to create some, regulatory requirement of, having $1 million as meeting some sort of standard within EB-1A. The problem is doing so would contradict the statute, because the statute doesn't talk about having extraordinary wealth. It talks about having extraordinary ability, skills, talent, stature within a particular area of endeavor. So having a wealth test or payment requirement or payment or an incentive for making a payment as evidence of qualifying for such existing statutory areas within the law would probably and very, very likely, I would bet $1 to a donut, such efforts would be fail under judicial review. So the courts would not likely find that it's consistent with the statute that one make a payment to establish that they have extraordinary abilities or skills. Because, for example, a person could inherit wealth. So they might have zero skills, but the fact that they inherit wealth provides them with, the money necessary to meet, a particular requirement under, such a regulation if it were put forward. The point being that if you are going to invest $1 million into something, make sure that it's actually going to produce the intended outcome. And here we're going to have a highly controversial policy that's going to be attempted by the administration, which is going to be probably wrapped up under judicial review and in the courts for a very long time to come, thus giving zero assurance to the individual paying the fee that they would actually receive the green card as a result of their $1 million payment. The other issue I think that is worth noting is that many, firms, I don't know if it's going to be law firms, but definitely many so-called immigration consulting companies will be coming out with big promises on the Trump Gold Card. And they will be soliciting business from individuals who are desperate to, solve their immigration issues by, telling them that they can make a less of a payment and whatnot. And it's going to be a big scam situation. It's something that's definitely going to be out there. So I will continuously update you all on what happens as it relates to the so-called Trump Gold Card and what actual regulatory and legal avenues are going to be developed for the purpose of doing so. As of right now, they have a website from the government. Doesn't really say a lot. It just asks you to give information. My advice is do not give your information over the website at this point. The best thing to do right now is to just wait and do nothing. And when it does come out, we're gonna, obviously err on the side of caution, because, even if you do make the payment, and obviously it's a huge amount of money that you're paying and it's a one-time fee, it's not like an investment that you get a return on with like EB-5, for example. So, that money is gonna disappear, and it's gonna be really hard to get it back if this does not come into fruition. So I caution you, I would urge you not to, fall into this trap of, the various consulting companies that are going to be out there trying to take your money, and definitely, wait until there's lots of clarity. The best thing that could happen as it relates to a investor or a program where there's a, exchange of money for an immigration benefit is for Congress to actually pass a law that would allow such, activities and allow one to benefit from payment of a fee. That goes through a congressional process. It has to be passed in the House and then the Senate by a 60-vote supermajority, and then ultimately signed by the president. That's how it works in the United States. Just a random executive order and creating this new pathway to immigration is not going to withstand judicial scrutiny. And it's not enough to just say, well, it's a regulation under an existing category of immigration, when those categories already have specific statutory language that talks about skills and abilities, not about wealth. So I find it highly dubious to bet on this process as a pathway toward a green card. Instead, I think at this point, those of you interested in self-petition should remain focused on doing so through either national interest waiver, EB-1A, O-1A with eventual EB-1A is another really great path to consider. So feel free to contact us. We'll give you all of your options and do so in a very straightforward, rational, thoughtful manner.